Yo, child of God, welcome on board. I am Y311H. Let's roll. Let's begin with what matters the most. Words of wisdom from the guide of life. At least there is hope for a tree. If it is cut down, it will sprout again, and its new shoots will not fail. That is from the book of Job, chapter 14, verse 7. Child of God, we intend on spreading love, good vibes, peace, honesty, forgiveness to all earthlings in all corners of this world. And you do that, my friend, as you react to incredible videos. These ones, make sure you watch till the end so that you don't miss out on any. Tell us where you're watching from and hit that like button. My friend, let's also give thanks for life and take a look at the videos. Thank you, wonderful Father, creator of all, for this beautiful day, Father. Thank you for your precious child, today's viewer. Thank you for their lives, Father. Thank you for gathering us here together with them, Father. Thank you for the experience that we shall have. Bless them, Father, uplift their souls and give them strength. May your love reach this viewer from where they are watching from. In your holy name, Jesus Christ, we do pray, trusting and believing. Amen. Child of God, let's dive in. One more thing I just remembered. This one, I have to personally give thanks to this good vibe soul. This one did nice. Called at Supersonic Subatomic. That name itself sounds dangerous, but this one is a good vibes fella. He just hit the super thanks, my friend, and let me tell you, my friend, from this side of the world, you are a superhero. It feels extremely nice. God bless you. Respect to you. There's also another guy called Atmanu. This one is also a good vibes guy, leaving lots of comment. And 3 months ago, Manu also left a super thanks of $20. Respect to you too. Lots of love to everybody, my friend. I had to do that before we dive in. Now, child of God, let's proceed. Good vibes till the end.
There are no negative entities on this planet that you're aware of that...
Of course, there are many entities on your planet that are negatively oriented, but so what? What's that got to do with the life that you choose to experience? Why not simply exist on a wavelength that will make whatever it is they're doing completely ineffectual for you? So in that sense, you won't care whether there are negative entities here or there or anywhere, because they'll simply have no effect on you. Do you understand? The more you focus on the idea that there are negative entities, the more you become negatively oriented. In fact, that's actually what they rely on. Do you understand? That's the trick.
Okay.
The idea is that they want you to think they're more powerful than they are. And their power comes from getting you to believe they're more powerful than they are. So you give over your power. And thus you are succumbing to the negative idea that they're perpetuating. But they don't really have more power than you do. They just want you to believe that they do. And when you believe that they do, then they do, because you give it to them. So don't fall for the trick. Don't get caught up in the idea that there may be negative entities. Of course there are. But so what? What's that got to do with the life you're going to experience?
Nothing.
Well, then, why bring it up?
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a good vibe. Start with some wisdom from Bashar. Entertainment is the end, my friends.
Nowhere in the Namibian desert, but I am so confused. Why is there a USSR rocket ship in the desert? Like, there has got to be an explanation behind this. Update, I just asked, and there is no explanation. There's just a Russian rocket ship here.
What? Brother just found that thing randomly.
Can someone please tell me how the sun's light manages to travel through an empty vacuum and make it all the way to Earth, but it doesn't illuminate the whole solar system? It's a black void where no light can travel through, and then once it hits Earth, suddenly it illuminates the Earth. But like we all see the animations and pictures of space, right? The sun's light isn't illuminating the entire solar system. and traveling all the way to Earth. It's a void, and then it hits the Earth, and that's what causes day and night. And then the Earth rotating, when we're facing away from the sun, that's nighttime. But the sun's light can still travel to the moon and reflect off of the moon. But the moon is just, it's its own light source. It's its own illumination. I mean, just look up in the sky and you can see it. The sun's light isn't traveling to it because you would see it. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
There are so many logical errors with the globe model, yet everyone chooses to believe it. It's called cognitive dissonance. You want to believe that this garbage is true because the lie is so big, because it's all we're being taught in school. And you think you're too dumb to understand it, so it must be true. No, it's just dumb because it's all a lie. Anyways, this video was for entertainment purposes only.
My friend tells me they are friends with the sun. I wonder how that is possible. But it's always creepy.
Ready, right now, ready? $5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Both sides. Now watch right here. You ain't changed that shit. You ain't do that. You know you gotta pay attention to the eyes. That ain't real.
Wait!
Hey, wait, is this a real? Oh, it's real. Now change it back. Change the 20. Don't take the camera off. Change the 20. Don't take the right. 1, 2. You see the roll real, yeah? Come very slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. On the faces, on the backs. Don't take your eyes off. Let me flip it.
Hi!
Okay. 800 still.
No way! Come on! Is this tricks?
Come on.
That one does not look real. Looks like there is some trick. Like we missed something.
Who's the real star?
Okay, yeah.
That looks like something that's putting on a costume. Maybe someone's dog.
You just mentioned the story of why Moses was not allowed into the promised land.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's different interpretations
there
about
is.
that. But essentially, God told Moses that you will not enter Zion, the promised land, and you will be watching it from afar. Now, I believe the English word is pareidolia or pareidolia, where it's essentially a phenomenon where you're looking at something, and if you look at it long enough, you can see something. That's the open-mindedness that I need both of you to deploy right now.
Okay.
This is Google Maps. It's the satellite view. Anybody can do this. They can do this while we're watching. And if you pull over to Israel, just turn it 90 degrees this way. So here we have Egypt, where Moses led the Israelites out for 40 years. You have here on the Sinai Peninsula. If you zoom in on this part of the Sinai Peninsula, you have here a shaded region.
Yeah.
Can you just take a minute and look at this region?
It looks like Moses.
What?
You see it, Jake? So we have here this like shaded part, this shaded part. When we think of Moses, by the way, he's kind of like in a cloak, long white beard. If you zoom in over here, you have an eye,
Yeah.
you have a mouth,
Yeah.
I have not seen.
Whoa.
and hold on a second. If you zoom in all the way on the eye,
Holy
you have
I'm also high
what we
right
would
now,
call
so-
as a pupil.
Yeah.
Because if you look at all three of us in the room, we have this here. This is, by the way, this is like desert region and is untouched. Like this has been this way. And you have here Moses, and he's
Oh, so
looking
he's
in
right.
this. He's looking in this direction. But if you took a ruler and you laid it flat, and you just followed his eyesight,
Whoa.
his eyesight
Yeah.
goes a direct line to Jerusalem.
Yeah. It sure does.
Now, there are different interpretations as to where God split the sea. The idea is that here the sea was split. Moses was not granted permission to go into the Holy Land, but God said that he will always be watching over. I actually had a friend, she showed me this. I started doing some research. There's not a lot. There's one rabbi who covers this exact phenomenon. To me, I think of it as like the world is the garden. We talked about this outside. Like we have the garden. This is just like another piece to the truth of Judaism, because
It's pretty cool.
It's pretty insane when I first saw it, because you have to realize that it just goes with the story of Exodus, and it goes with the story of being persecuted by pharaohs, or by the pharaoh over here, and going towards the promised land.
Wow, that one is mind blowing. But I was not seeing the Moses they were saying. Have you?
Tiamat is the name given to an ancient planetary body and consciousness that once existed within our solar system, and is also recognized as the primordial dragon mother archetype. She represents the chaotic womb of creation, the original waters, plasma, and elemental forces from which all life emerged. In Babylonian myth, she is described as a monstrous sea serpent, but in the Ascension framework, she is seen as a shattered planetary consciousness whose fragments still echo in Earth's oceans, ley lines, and the genetic memory of dragons and the serpentine beings. Origins. Primordial ocean. Tiamat embodies the original cosmic waters, liquid plasma, that seeded our universe. Esoteric teachings describe Tiamat as an actual planet between Mars and Jupiter, destroyed in an ancient cataclysmic war, sometimes linked to the asteroid belt. She is the archetypal progenitor of all dragons and serpent lineages, the mother of dragons, both luminous and shadow. Her core attributes are primordial feminine power, the womb of unmanifested creation, both nurturing and chaotic. Elemental mastery. She carries the codes of water, plasma, and serpentine flow, the blueprint for Kundalini and life force currents. Fragmented consciousness. After her death, parts of Tiamat's essence embedded within Earth's oceans, inner planes, and human DNA. She is the guardian of hidden codes. Her body holds ancient records of planetary history, war timelines, and original creation templates. Her role in Ascension is, as the planetary grids rise, the Tiamat codes are reawakening, releasing ancient traumas from Earth and her inhabitants. This can manifest as collective purging of oceanic or reptilian memories, surfacing shadow aspects of the divine feminine. Star seeds aligned with water dragons or the Dark Mother archetype often feel a soul contract to help restore Tiamat's fragmented energy. Her appearance and symbolism. She is seen as a vast serpentine dragon of water and plasma, scales shimmering with deep blue, teal, and black tones, sometimes experienced in dreams or visions as a colossal ocean or a living, breathing sea. She symbolizes the threshold between chaos and order, destruction and rebirth. On the 3D to 4D levels, she is seen as a mythic ocean serpent, fragmented planetary etheric field. In the 5D and the 6D, she reemerges as a restored dragon, mother consciousness, assisting planetary healing. And in the 7D, she takes place as the cosmic womb, the original template of water-based life. Let's look at how they try to distort and misuse the information of Tiamat. In fallen timelines, Tiamat's energy was demonized as a chaos monster, and her codes inverted into black magic practices. Her destruction seeded trauma into the planetary collective, oceans as memory vaults of war and fragmentation. True Tiamat energy is not destructive by nature, but primal creative force awaiting integration. Tiamat represents the primordial feminine waters of source, the womb of all creation. Her destruction is a symbol of the suppression of the divine feminine on earth. To integrate Tiamat's codes is to heal the memory of cosmic trauma, restore the sacred waters, and reclaim the balance between creation and chaos. In summary, Tiamat is both a shattered planetary consciousness and the archetypal dragon mother, of primordial waters. In the ascension work, she represents the return of the divine feminine, the healing of the ancient cataclysms, and the restoration of water and dragon lineages on the planet
Wow,
Earth.
my friend, I don't believe that, but it sounds so good. All for entertainment.
Something is happening, and I don't think people realize just how big of a deal this is. A volcano in Ethiopia that has been dormant since the last ice age just erupted out of nowhere. Bitch has been asleep for 12,000 years, and she just woke up in 2025. This volcano is called Haile Gubi. It's in Ethiopia, and scientists say that, again, it hasn't erupted in over 12,000 years. That means the last time this thing went boom, Manny and Sid were cooling it with a baby and a saber-toothed tiger. And this week in 2025, ash shot 9 miles into the air. Villages went dark, livestock died, and ash spread throughout the Red Sea. Remember that. And the gag is that it did not erupt anywhere. It erupted in the one place that has fully preserved the Book of Enoch, Ethiopia. Enoch warned us that before great cycle shifts, that the deep places of the earth shall open. He said mountains shall melt like wax. What is a volcano? He said fire shall rise from the depths. Again, what the fuck is a volcano? Also, this volcano erupted on the East African Rift, quite literally where the earth is tearing itself apart and a new continent is forming. And it's not just the Book of Enoch. Even in the Bible, it says earthquakes shall occur in diverse places. Pillars of smoke, fire from the east. That's all in the Bible. In Ethiopian tradition, they believe that great earth changes will begin where the Ark of the Covenant is kept. It's kept in Axum, Ethiopia, according to them. Even Vedic cycles predict that every 12,000 to 13,000 years, great earth changes will occur. This volcano, again, hasn't erupted in about 12,000 years. Listen, I can go even deeper. Chan Thomas wrote the Adam and Eve story. It was classified by the CIA, right? He said that earth changes will begin with crust pressure in rift zones.
What?
Remember Edgar Casey, the sleeping prophet that we were just talking about? He said, fire will rise near the Red Sea. Bitch, do you remember what I said about the Red Sea and ash going all across it? And listen, after the eruption, the Ring of Fire lit up. There are over 40 volcanoes in continuous eruption right now. And a Russian volcano just erupted after 600 years of being dormant. Listen, all I'm saying is that clearly ancient cultures were onto something because they all said the same thing. When the fire inside the earth wakes up, it's time to begin a new cycle. I'm not saying that this is the beginning of the next cycle, right? All I'm saying is that this is exactly how the beginning of the next cycle was described by a lot of prophets, by a lot of ancient cultures, even by
What? Lots of things happening. This story of the world ending has been there for long, since the time of Jesus. Now look at this. NASA live stream.
Bro, what
Wow.
the hell? Speaking of it, I'm literally watching the live stream of NASA. What the hell is that?
Or it's birds in a weird type of camera where we can only see.
What?
It looks like birds. I do.
That is so weird.
My friends, what do you think that could be? Or where is that place?
So come to find out, the story of Jesus isn't even an
Oh.
original? Don't go getting triggered now. Wait for the message. So last night, I came across something really interesting. And it's how the story of Jesus has the same exact storyline as a bunch of gods that came thousands of years before him. Let me see. We got Horus in Egypt, 3,000 years before Christ. Was the son of a virgin, symbol of light defeating darkness, died and rose again. You got Krishna in India. I think it was like 1,500 years before Christ. Born of a virgin, performed miracles, died, resurrected. Dionysus in Greece, 1,100 years. Turned water into wine, called the Son of God, had disciples. Mithra in Persia, 600 years. Born on December 25th, celebrated by shepherds, symbol of truth and light. And then you got Jesus. The same story, the same pattern, just told in a different timeline. And at first, of course, a cynical me, it's like, damn, so Jesus' story isn't real? But then I dug a little bit deeper and I started to realize something else. I don't think that these were stories about one man at all. I feel like they were all symbols. Like each culture told the same story trying to explain something cosmic. They were trying to explain the sun's path, the changing of the seasons, the cycle of life and death. You know, because every year the sun dies in December, stays still for 3 days, then begins to rise again, the winter solstice. That's what I think the resurrection is. That's where I think the December 25th comes from, is the birth of light returning to the world. So these stories were symbolic. They weren't about a single man doing miracles. I think they were about the human journey, the birth, death, and resurrection. I think all of it was about consciousness. So now, today, when I think about Jesus, I don't just think of a man. I'm seeing a pattern. You know, a reminder that all of us die and rise again in our own way. You know, like every time we fall, we get back up. Every time we lose ourselves and try to find that light again, that's resurrection. That's the Christ story. It's not something outside of you. It's
Is
in
it
you.
that mocking God?
So anyway, tribe, that's what I took from it. That maybe the point wasn't ever to debate, you know, who was real and who wasn't. I think maybe the point was just to remind us that we have our story too. You know, that light comes after darkness. That truth always returns. You know, tribe, as always, the goal is to leave people better than we found them. So I figure I'd drop this little gem on y'all and do with the story as you please. Till tomorrow.
Some part of me does not believe this brother's story. You please be the judge, my friend. What do you think about it?